This video looks at the iconography of the infant Buddha and how the knowledge of this iconography traveled from South Asia to eventually reach the Korean peninsula. The events related to the birth of the Buddha Shakyamuni depict several wonders. When he was born beneath the arm of Queen Maya, the Prince Gautama Siddhartha in the Lumbini garden in the ancient Indian kingdom, he made 7 steps in the 4 cardinal directions, and pointed to heaven with his right hand and to earth with his left hand, declaring that he was the only one in heaven and on earth, reflecting the fact that he is the only one who can save all sentient beings from the endless recycle of suffering to become the enlightened one. Images of Siddhartha's birth began to appear at Amaravati in the 1st century before the Common Era, and in the Gandharan area around the 1st century of the Common Era. But in these early scenes, the child himself is not actually depicted, his presence only suggested by his mother's raised right arm as she supports herself by a tree, while an attendant kneels with the clot to receive the infant. This drum slab carved in limestone from Amaravati shows 4 events related to the Buddha's birth: Mayadevi's dream in the top right, the interpretation of the dream attended by the Dikpalas, top left, the birth of the Buddha attended again by the Dikpalas, bottom right, and the presentation of the Buddha to the Chaitya of the Shakyas, which is in the bottom left. A further example, this time from Sarnath, shows events from the life of the Buddha, with his birth at the bottom of the pillar and his death at the top. The iconography surrounding the birth of the Buddha, and particularly the infant Buddha, was transmitted to Central Asia, and it appears that in China, individual images with this pose began to be popular during the 6 dynasties, and were then transmitted to Korea and to Japan. This is an example of the infant Buddha. The statuette is from the Qing dynasty in China and is now in the British Museum. This small bronze image of the infant Buddha is from Korea and shows the figure only wearing a sash. It is dated to the 8th century and is now in a private collection. The second Korean depiction of the infant Buddha is now in the Korim Museum. It shows him wearing a lower garment fastened with a belt. The provenance of the Horim infant Buddha is not known, but this is a rare piece, complete with its lotus pedestal and remarkably with the rectangular dais, just like representations of the infant Buddha in Gandhara. Not many images of the infant Buddha have survived in Korea, but quite a number, dating from the 3 kingdoms to the Koryo period, are in various Japanese collections. Only a few have an intact lotus pedestal. The present Horim image is possibly unique, since it is complete not only with the lotus pedestal, but with the additional support of an altar table, also cast in bronze.